welcome back to another episode of Basketball Culture. I'm your host, Ebony.
It's your boy, Tyler, and today we got another international guest. If you want to quickly introduce yourself real quick.
Hey, y'all. My name is Kenny. Currently working as a physical therapist. I have my doctorate degree in physical therapy, and I'm also a board-certified specialist in orthopedics. But you guys probably know me as Kenny Kinetics on Instagram because I'm trying to be the first 5'8" woman to dunk a basketball on a regulation size 10-foot hoop.
Ooh, we love it. We love it. So great to have you on the podcast. Thank you so much for coming on.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. This week in basketball, what's going on, Tyler? Talk to me.
The playoffs going down. A couple upsets happened in the last round. Celtics went out.
Yeah.
The Cavs went out, which were basically like two of the favorites. And then even today, Pacers won another game. They're up 2-0. The Knicks. Like the Knicks both.
Yes, sir. That's
games. That's kind of crazy, but
that's my team right now. I'm riding. I found out Halliburton is a 2000 baby. I'm a 2000 baby, so that's my guy. That's my guy right there. We got to stick together. I hope Pacers take it all. I don't know. OKC is looking pretty strong, I feel like.
Yeah. Thunder's gonna win. It's pretty obvious. I knew they were winning as soon as they got past the Nuggets because Timberwolves are frauds. They could barely beat the Warriors. They barely beat my team when our best player wasn't even playing. Maybe a bit of saltiness, but they're down 2-0. So I'm having a successful hate watch kind of right now.
Yeah. I know you said that you haven't been watching any NBA recently, but do you follow any teams or anything like that, Kenny?
Growing up, my team was the Dallas Mavericks. They always have a special place in my heart. So I'll tap in here and there. Like, when I'm at the gym, I see like OKC, Pacers, like, I'll kind of have a sense of who's in it and what's going on, but I'm not as deeply invested in it as I was when I was growing up.
Yeah, fair enough. That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, I think the biggest news as well, MVP recently got announced.
Oh, true. And all the first teams.
SGA. I think everyone pretty much knew it. It kind of took a long time to announce it. Usually they do it earlier, but I found out from a tweet, which is kind of crazy. They used to do shows and stuff, and then this guy's it's like, what's going on, bro? Where's all the, it's just, it's meant to be hyped up, but
yeah,
that's what it is, I guess.
Personally, I feel like MVP should have been someone else. Me, for being the number one Heat fan. I'm joking. I'm joking. Or Tyler in here. I'm joking. I was going to say Tyler here, but for Kenny, for our listeners, they'll know. Big, I don't know if you can see it through where the camera is or whatever, but, even my bag.
Heat all day.
That? I'm a big Miami Heat fan, so... we didn't do too good, but anyways, moving on. Oh, wait, one more thing. Curry wasn't on the first team. I saw your story post. You would be upset with that?
It's propaganda. He averages better stats and everything compared to D. Mitch, but I guess when you're the number one seed, fair enough. But, they went out embarrassingly, so it is what it is, I guess. We 38 and we still getting all NBA, so.
Yeah, I feel like LeBron and... the second team was all the older generation pretty much. So I feel like, they're trying to move away from that now, trying to highlight the up and coming.
Yeah, it's passing of the torch kind of moment, but the old heads are still there. They're still hooping. So.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our quiz.
Yeah. So obviously we know you got kind of the dunk journey going on. So I kind of tailored the questions about some dunkers and stuff like that. But yeah, just for some fun. So to start off, I know you said you haven't really been watching much, but I have who's the most recent dunk contest champion in the NBA?
That was Matt McClung, right?
Yes. Yes, it is. And then a follow-up on that, who has won the most dunk contests in history? It's a tie between two people.
Ooh. Who has won the most dunk contests? I want to say, dang, maybe I'm thinking kind of like, I feel like Vince Carter or like, I forget, it was back when, it was two of them. I can't remember their names right now, but remember like a few years ago, like one of them dumped over a car and then I was like two light skins. I forget their name.
Oh, you talk about the Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon?
Yeah.
I don't know who.
The answer, it's low-key kind of surprising because kind of underrated. The first one is actually Mac McClung because he's actually won the past 3. Like, he's won 3 in a row.
Won 3?
Yeah.
I thought you only won 2.
Nah, and then the second one we got Nate Robinson, high flyer.
Wow.
They've both won 3. But Nate didn't win 3 in a row, but in total he won 3 and Mac won the last 3. So actually pretty surprising, to be honest.
Yeah.
I have who famously jumped and dunked over a 7'2" player during the Olympics.
During the Olympics?
Yeah.
I don't even have a guess on that one.
Well, we got Vince Carter. He completely cleared him. I remember I think he got an interception and he just jumped over him completely. It was pretty crazy. But
Dang.
Most people's GOAT dunker, I feel like, it has to be. It's Vince. He's crazy.
Facts.
A follow-up on that, I have where was Vince Carter drafted?
Was it the Raptors?
See, originally that's what I thought it was until I went to research it. He was actually drafted by the Warriors, but he got traded on draft night. So it's kind of like a trick question.
Dang.
And then I know you said you wanted to be the first female 5'8" person to dunk, 5'8" female to dunk. I have who was the first person to dunk in a WNBA game?
That is Lisa Leslie.
Yes, it is. And now I just got a couple nicknames of past players, current players, and then you just know who it is. Chime in. So I have Air Gordon.
His nickname? I don't know.
I have Half Man, Half Amazing.
Okay.
No, that's the nickname of the player, and you're trying to get the player.
That's the nickname. See, I've heard it, but I don't know.
Fair enough. That one was Vince Carter. Then I have kind of players still currently playing. He's not really the player he used to be, but we got the Brody.
Brody. Yeah, I don't know that one either.
That one we got Westbrook. So overall, the nicknames are kind of hard. Usually people struggle on them, but overall did pretty solid. So, yeah, and it was a quiz.
Okay.
Yeah, them nicknames get everyone. I knew some of that. Well, I knew 2 of these this time. Usually I'm also like, I have no idea who the hell that is. I can't wait to hear their answer. But I knew Brody. I was like, oh, I know this one. And then it was Air Gordon.
Yeah,
I'm like, that has to be Aaron Gordon.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty good though. Pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't really been in the basketball world for years, so them questions was rough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't think you did the worst. I don't remember who.
Some people had, I think, the charity bounce.
Yeah, Ian. Yeah, I think Ian, because he doesn't watch basketball at all, so he didn't know anything. But anyways, moving on. So in case there's any viewers who have been watching all our past episodes, we usually have a jersey segment. Today we're going to skip through that one. So we're going straight to the definition of basketball culture. So what would you say is your definition of basketball culture? No wrong answers.
When I think of like basketball culture, like the first thing that comes to mind is kind of like hip hop meets like street ball. Like I grew up in the 90s. So, when street ball came out, like everybody was going crazy trying to do all the N1 moves. And, you got the rap, you got the hip hop in the background. And it's people just outside grinding, playing, like no rules, just trying to get better.
Yeah. I love it. I love that answer. You know, I feel like the last few answers people have just been talking about like actual like basketball. And like in my head, like when I think of basketball culture, I think of that, like the music, the fashion, like all of that stuff that like ties into it. So when they say that, like I said, no wrong answer. So I love hearing their answer. But when anytime anyone mentions like, yeah, fashion, hip hop on that, I'm like, yeah, that's what I agree with too.
Okay, well, we'll dive into the questions. Kind of just want to know kind of what was your childhood like and when did you first discover basketball really?
Yeah, so I grew up in Baltimore, and I have four brothers, but I have three older and one younger. So growing up, I was always doing what my older brothers did. So they was playing basketball, I was playing basketball. They was playing football, I was playing football. They was on the Xbox, I was on the Xbox, because what else was a girl supposed to do? So that's pretty much how I got into basketball. They played, and there was like in the neighborhood, there was like two other boys around a similar age. So we would just play with them. And I just remember we had our parents brought us a basketball court in the backyard, and the backyard obviously has grass. There's like no cement, but we played so much that like it was just straight dirt to the point where like when we moved, they had to come in and like put new grass in because it was just straight dirt. It was basically cement. But we would just play from sun up till sundown, and when the sun's down, we got the light in the back, playing in the dark, just grinding.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I also have four brothers, so I don't know if you saw my reaction. I was like, oh, me too.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle, two older, two younger. And I mean, same thing. We would be outside grinding. I mean, I was the only girl, so I'd exactly like you, just be copying whatever they're doing as well. Like exact same thing. But,
yeah.
And of course, you can probably relate, but when I feel like you're like the only girl and you have a lot of brothers, they don't really take it easy. Like you're one of them. It's like you play tough, it's physical, it's still competitive. So I just want to know, like, do you think kind of growing up with all the brothers, it gave you an advantage of when you went and played with like other girls and stuff like that?
100%. Because like you said, like, you know, being a female amongst boys, like they're already naturally stronger than you and they're older than me. So like it's hard to hold my ground. And especially because my one brother, like he will always try to put me on his team so he could be like, oh, I beat you with my sister. And that's cool. But like he also had like, you know, anger issues. So like he'd take it out on me. Like, you feel me? So it kind of was like tough because like I want to play, but you making this miserable for me. But at the same time, I'm amongst y'all and I want to seem like I'm a punk because then y'all not going to want to play with me. So like, you know, I want to cry, but I can't cry. But it just made me toughen up. Like if I get a hard foul, I got to learn how to play through it. If they playing hard on me, I got to learn how to handle that pressure. So then when it came to playing, I don't care if it was a woman or a male in front of me, I just seen a human. And I was like, you're going to get this work regardless. That's the mentality that I developed through just banging with them all the time.
Yeah, definitely can relate to that. I feel like for me, I'm trying to think. I think my older brothers were I don't know how like the age difference with you and your brothers, but mine are like 10, like my oldest brother is 10 years older than me. So I feel like he's a bit overprotective in terms of like basketball. Like he wouldn't be aggressive against me, but the getting angry and stuff. Yeah. He bosses us around like crazy. I remember watching them play, like they had their own team, local comp. And this guy's like, 3 passes max, like shouting at everyone, the whole team, then goes down the court and takes it himself.
The difference is, it's like, he's like the Draymond, like he's leading you around, but it's like, you know, he's not really doing much.
Yes.
Come on, if you're Steph saying that, okay, I respect it. But
Facts.
Man.
But yeah, so being the only girl, yeah, it definitely toughens you up. And I mean, I remember like going against this guy, like in our backyard, just one-on-ones. until I mean, like, it doesn't stop. It's like you win one, it's like, no, now I got to win my one, and then they win, and it's like, no, now I got to win my one. So you just keep going and going and going, and I mean, until it ends in a fight, or I don't know. Right? Like, is that how your guys' nights would end? Like, someone like crashes out and then, oh, that's it? Or did you guys like happily be like, oh, damn, y'all got us this time, let's go inside now?
Nah, pretty much somebody always messed it up some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And then in school, did you play for like your basketball team in school or anything, or was it kind of like a casual thing?
I played for the 8th grade basketball team in middle school, and then in high school, I made varsity as a freshman.
It's lagging, yeah.
I stayed there for like a month, and my coach. Is it still lagging?
It's
A little, yeah.
Yeah, it's freezing a little bit. Yeah, it's in and out. It's in and out right now.
I don't know if this.
Okay. Oh.
Okay.
Okay. It's back now, I think.
All right. I don't know if this is any better.
Yeah, this is good.
It's good.
All right, bet. So made varsity freshman year, but then got moved down to JV in the latter half. But sophomore, junior, and senior year, stayed on varsity and pretty much just balled out.
Yes, sir.
And do you think you like kind of being moved back down to JV kind of gave you like more motivation and like you wanted to become better from that, or how did you handle like that move?
Oh yeah, I was mad because I'm like, what am I getting moved down for? You feel me? Like, this is child's play. Like, this is too easy for me. But obviously, like you said, it's a humbling experience. Like, I'm the type that is like, I know I'm a good player. If there's somebody that's better than me, I respect it. I'll work harder. But if I'm just sitting here just dogging you, like, nah, like, you're going to know that I don't belong here. So yeah, I had to switch it, turn it up a level, boost up my IQ, because I think that's mainly why, at that time, that was my first time learning like how to play man to man and tracking the person and being in the right pace, in the right position. So I really kind of honed in on that and then came back. And then, like I said, the rest was history.
I like that energy. Just as like young, like in these, like, what? Sorry, I forgot what's.
Junior.
Yeah. Okay. How do you think like basketball helped you when you were younger?
Yeah, so I say basketball made me first and foremost. Like, without basketball, there's no me. Like, without basketball, like, I would not be where I'm at today. And I thank God for giving me the love for basketball, because everything that y'all see, first and foremost, comes from God, in my opinion, for my life. But growing up, like, my childhood sucked. Yeah, I had 4 brothers, and y'all would think like, oh, 4 brothers, like protective of their sister, like complete opposite. Like, I went through hell in my childhood. And basketball was like the only thing that really gave me hope. Like, basketball showed me love. It showed me compassion. It showed me, it taught me like all the life skills, right? Like teamwork, communication, hard work. It's the first thing in my life that I seen that, like, if I actually like put my whole mind to it and all my effort and energy into something, that I can really truly do anything that I set my mind to. And throughout my life, that is a common theme over and over again. Like, my friends, they be like, dang, you so disciplined. Like, yo, like, once you put your mind to something, it's a wrap. Like, there's nothing that's going to derail you from that path. And so basketball really instilled that mentality into me, and just, again, it just propelled me. And I think that's how I've just been successful in every avenue of my life. And people ask me, how are you doing this or how are you doing that? And it all comes from the foundation that I built through basketball.
I really love that. Like, just how basketball is like shaped so many people's lives, and like how it's such a big thing. Because same thing with me as well. I'm sure like it's my childhood wasn't as bad as other people, but I definitely had like wanted to escape a bit, and basketball was that place where I'll just let it all out on the court. And like it was just like same thing. I love basketball and made me who I am today, and learned so much from it. And I know like a lot of people can relate to that as well. So I just love that about basketball. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, of course.
And I know you talked about how when you came back from JV, you were cooking people and stuff like that. I also believe you played in college as well. So I just wanted to know, at what point, like during your basketball career, did you kind of realize like, oh, this is like a legitimate option? Like, was it from when you started in high school, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna make it no matter what? Or was it kind of as you went on, you like discover like, damn, I can really, I can thrive here?
I think the turning point for me was freshman, sophomore year. So like I said, childhood was terrible. I went through a lot in that house, didn't really have no support, never really felt safe. So I always felt kind of on the edge. But, like y'all said, like basketball was always there. So that anger, like I just put all my anger and emotion into basketball, which is part of the reason why I think I got so good at it. Yeah. But freshman, sophomore year, okay. So like I said, freshman year, basketball, boom, tried out. Sophomore year, volleyball coach comes through and was like, yo, you should try out for volleyball. And I'm like, volleyball, like, I mean, I don't know. But at the same time, like I'm an athlete. I know I can jump high. So like, if you're going to teach me, then teach me. But I don't know nothing about no volleyball.
Yeah.
But I'm still open to it, right? So I got tryouts, and to try to make a long story short, it was the summer going into sophomore year, and my parents pretty much bought phones for 3 of my older brothers, like phone lines and everything. And at that time, I didn't have a phone. I think I had a track phone. But my second oldest brother was like, oh, I'm going to get on the phone playing with like my friends or whatever. So long story short, boom, phone opens up. They give it to me. So I set my alarm. I'm getting ready to go to sleep to wake up for volleyball tryouts the next day, right? So he come in my room and he's like, give me back my phone. And I'm like, what you mean? Like, it's not your phone. So we going back and forth, whatever, but he just takes the phone. So I'm like, all right, bet, let you keep it for the day, but I'm going to take it right back and go back. Stuff that children do, right? So I do, I take it back. He come back into my room. I'm asleep. The lights come on. We going back and forth. He like, give me my phone. I'm like, no. We going back and forth. And then I'm like, all right, if you want this phone, give me back my PSP that you took. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but at the time, PSPs ran for like $200, and I had the NBA Live in there, like 05 or something like that. So that's like another $50. So you straight took my $200 PSP and $50 game, and you sold it for an iPod Nano. The math don't even math. Like, you lost out on that deal. You feel me? But the bottom line is, you took my stuff without like telling me. So like, that's my argument. So again, we going back and forth, and then boom, he just punched me in my face. So I'm 14, I'm crying, what's going on, whatever. Parents come through. They don't really de-escalate the situation. So I'm mad. Stuff get heated and gone. I call the cops because, again, I never feel safe. I don't feel like nobody is there to stand on my behalf, right? Cops come, they ask what happens, boom, whatever. Next day, I go to tryouts. Obviously, I'm a 14-year-old girl. All that just happened. I'm emotional when I get to tryouts. I tell my coach not knowing, like me not knowing at the time that, she's a mandated reporter. She wanted to report what happens. So she told whoever, and then Child Protective Services pretty much came. I think when I was at school, they asked me what happened. So I pretty much told, the same story that I told y'all. But then I found out that they also, I guess, asked my brothers and everything just to kind of, get a feel of the environment. And basically they came back and they was like, oh, we didn't find anything. So they pretty much said it was nothing that they could do. In hindsight, like years later, my brother told me like, that my parents told them to pretty much lie about the whole situation to, I guess, like protect my brother. So like nothing would happen. And me at the time, I internalized that as like, you're choosing his his potential career as a doctor over my well-being and safety as a child in this house. You feel me? So at that point, I was like, I gotta get out this house. I'm gonna make a better life for myself. And since basketball is going so good for me, I was like, bet this about to be my way to get out. So I'm gonna take it as far as I can go. And that's pretty much where it kind of like really flipped and changed for me.
Wow, thank you for sharing. Yeah, it's definitely a lot.
Yes, definitely. Kind of changing like a curse into a blessing. Take that fuel and, you know, push it to go further. But ultimately, like, it's hard enough trying to make it in basketball. Everyone knows that. But being seen as like you had no support around you kind of as well, like, how were you able to like continue to like just lock in and keep thriving? Like, was it that need to escape is kind of what made you?
Yeah, it's definitely the need to escape, for sure. Because again, like I never felt safe in that house. And it's like a bunch of different stories like that like kept happening like over and over again. So like I always felt on the edge. But luckily my third oldest brother, like it got to the point where like he had tried to step in to try to, you know, defuse the situation a little bit. But I pretty much said, F all this, like, it's me, myself, and I. Like, ain't nobody gonna have my back but me. So I just gotta put in this work and take it as far as I can. So that mentality kept me going. But then also, like, I was very closed off as a kid, obviously, because I had no way of processing my emotions other than basketball. But my teammates and my friends, like, you know, that I still have to this day, they were definitely huge because they took me to practices, they took me to games. When situations like this would happen, my one friend that lived in like the other neighborhood, it'd be like a 20-30 minute walk, but I would do it in a heartbeat just to go over there. Like she'd let me go over her house and just chill. So that definitely also helped me kind of get through all the turmoil that was going on.
Yeah, that's really good that like you had that friend and like those people outside, like at least having someone there, no matter how small, using like on the court, using that as an escape and with like your anger and stuff. Did you ever feel like did you ever lose that like on the court, or were you always just like, because it was the only thing you had, were you always just straight go, like going hard no matter what?
I was always straight go. And I think it's a blessing and a curse because I see it now. Like as an adult, I'm like, dang, I could keep going. But like, y'all know, like people who can keep going, y'all also need to like rest or stop yourself. So I have a hard time like stopping myself. Like when it was a session when my friend was doing the lobs and I was trying to get the lob and I legit jumped for like 20 jumps straight. And he like, yo, sit down, like stop. And I'm like, I was so locked in on trying to get the dunk that I didn't even realize that I was jumping that much because I was just so focused on the goal. So yeah, anytime I stepped on the court, you're going to get cooked.
Yeah. I like that mentality. How do you think that like affects everything and like, I don't know, like the balance, I guess?
I mean, I think now, I can't even say that. I was going to say, I think now I have a better balance, but honestly, like I'm always busy. Like if you ask my friends, they like, Dad, you always got something going on.
Yeah.
But the way that I look at it is that like I'm working hard and I'm doing all this now so that my future self can chill. Like, you know what I mean? Like my future self, my future kids, like, you know, my future like life that I'm seeing, I'm just benefiting off of all the work and the grind that I'm putting in now. So, I mean, I was going to say, I feel like I got a better balance on it, but I really just make time for all this stuff that means the most to me. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it seems to be working. So
Yeah.
good job. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Best investment you can make is in yourself. So, I mean, it's a good plan. But kind of, I know we spoke about your high school career in basketball. I just want to know kind of what was the experience like in your college kind of career? How did that go down?
So I would say college was worse than high school. And normally you would think the opposite, because when I was in high school, I was so hyped. I'm like, bet I got this full ride. Like, I'm about to be out this house. Like, one, that was the most important thing. But then two, I'm like, in high school, you got a bunch of people that play basketball, but you don't really have, basketball players. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm about to actually be on a team with basketball players, like people that know the game, that love the game like I do. So I'm hyped. And I touched down on campus. The coaches that recruited me, they was like, yeah, like they had to leave pretty much just because of like some, personal issues and whatnot. So we get a whole new coaching staff. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, it is what it is. I'm not going to have no feelings towards you because I don't know you. So I'm going to give you a chance. And pretty much freshman year, didn't really touch the court, would only get on the court for like the last 2 minutes of the game. And I'm internalizing that, like, okay, I'm a freshman. That's probably why people always go through, that phase as a freshman. So sophomore year comes, he gets his first recruiting class in, and pretty much same thing happens. Like, he playing his freshmen, he playing his people he liked from who was there, and I'm still getting in the last 2 minutes of the game. And at this point, I'm like, ain't no way. I'm sorry, because I know how good I am, and I can sit here and confidently say that I was top 2 each year on that team. You feel me? And it's very obvious because many people, fans on our side, parents on our side, fans on the other side, parents on the other side would come up and be like, yo, why doesn't number 21 play? So if I'm delusional, it's like, why everybody asking these questions? You feel me? But yeah, he did not like me at all. Like, he would put me in the last 2 minutes of the game or only when he had to play me. And I still have that same mentality. Like, regardless, when I go in them 2 minutes, like, I'm going to make it very apparent that I don't belong on this bench. So that's why all these questions start happening, because anytime I come in the game, I make something happen. Like, the momentum shifts to our side. Like, whether it's I score, I pass, like I get a crazy block, like I get something. Like, the fans literally will go crazy every time I touch the court because I'm doing something exciting. But that pretty much sums up my college career. Like, this man, for some reason, just didn't play me. And at that point, I'm like, okay, basketball's a wrap for me. But I had to switch it and be like, most people don't get a full ride, to get their education. So, me not having no support, transfer portal not really being a thing at this time, to my knowledge. I know I could transfer or get out. So I was just like, let me just get my degree and let me just focus on what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And that's kind of what killed the love of basketball for me, which is why I don't really keep up with it like that no more to this day because of my college era.
Yeah, it would definitely be disheartening knowing like you're putting in all the work and like you said, you're one of the best players, and then for no reason kind of really you're just not really getting the minutes. But obviously you loved basketball and stuff, and you had to make the difficult decision to step away, and kind of want to know like how were you able to like make that jump? Because obviously it was such a big part of your life. Was it just like it was too hard not being able to like get on the court and like show what you can do? You just felt like you had to?
I mean, I was forced to. I didn't have no option because, again, like at the time, I have no support. So it's not like, my parents will be up here talking to the coach like how most players would be, because obviously y'all seen like my parents never went to one basketball game. So it's just me advocating for myself, me talking to compliance like this, that, and the third. Like, I literally had a whole list of all the things freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year that he would do that he would hold against me, but then other people would do the same or not worse. Like, it was one of them situations where like you out here doing this and you not playing me or holding me to this, but then this person is doing the same thing. And it's like, it was all just like, it was nothing to do with basketball, which still pisses me off to this day, because like, if you're going to be fair, treat everybody the same way. Like, I'm big on that. But since that didn't happen, I was like, all right, well, I can't keep staying here, like this is nothing here for me. So I don't have no choice but to continue. And my main drive was making a better life for myself. I didn't want to, keep staying in the same place or not have a revenue or something, for myself. Because at this point, I'm a young adult. Like, I got to provide for myself. And now I'm just thinking of ways like, how can I make money and, start being an adult, start adulting. So I just had to figure out life.
Yeah, I really hate that, like, that coach did that, because like it like, I don't know you personally, but it just pisses me off, like, just knowing that, like, even when it happens, like here as well, anywhere it happens, like, it's just so annoying. And especially like ruining someone's love for the game and like forcing them to like give up something like that, like it's definitely annoying. And as well, like with the whole college situation of like finally getting away from like your home life and like being able to like be by yourself and all that, and then it's just not a great experience. Like, I really feel for you, and like, I'm sorry that, I know I can't control it, I'm sorry that happened to you. I was wondering how that like mentally affected you, because you said that you were just like, okay, well, I got to like make a living somehow, and you just like picked yourself up. Was there a time where like you felt really low, like you couldn't pick yourself up, or were you just straight away like just on it?
Nah, that college period was a dark era. And my teammates and my friends at the time could definitely talk to that too, because I shut down. Like, my only way of processing emotions was basketball. So when the one positive thing that I took for myself imploded in front of me, I didn't know how to handle my emotions. Like, what? So I would shut down. I wouldn't talk to my friends. I would I would go through like days, weeks of just not speaking to them. And then all of a sudden I speak to them. So they like, yo, what's going on? Like, did I do something to you? Like you kind of moving weird, acting funny. Like, but it was me simply just not knowing how to handle, all of that, especially since, again, like each year I came in with the mentality of leave the last year behind, start fresh, start new. But it was the same thing over and over again. And I'm looking at you like you a hypocrite, because you telling me like this, that, and the third. But then my friend who you recruited, she literally plays and everything, but she's walking out in the middle of practices. Like, she walking out in the middle of a drill. And then we would go to breakfast and she'd be like, yo, he's about to text me to come to the office to talk. Boom, right there. I'm like, yo, like, you really play. Like, I love her to this day. Like, we joke about it all the time. Like, it's still funny. But I'm like, yo, like, she walked out in the middle of a drill. And you mad at me because you're telling me that I'm seated in a position that I can't see the whiteboard. Like, it just don't make sense. Like, I literally, my best game, I scored 12 points in 6 minutes. Like, it don't make sense. So I just, like you said, it pisses me off because you don't, as a coach, you're supposed to cultivate and build up and empower these young men and young women to get them into the adults that they should be, right? I think Dawn Staley, your Gino Ariema's, like, your coaches like that do a really beautiful job at actually like taking them and growing them play-wise, but then also growing them up young adult-wise. I don't know them personally, but what I see that they kind of embody that. So I'm a great.
Yeah, it's lagging a bit.
But for you to, it's lagging.
Yeah. we just got like bits and pieces there.
Okay.
Is it good now?
Well,
Good.
My voice sounds terrible, so I'm gonna go get some water real quick, and hopefully it's not lagging no more.
No worries.
That's cool. That's cool.
All right. I don't know if this is any better.
Yeah, this is good now. Yeah.
All right. But pretty much what I was trying to say is like, as a coach, you're supposed to build people up. But I feel like some coaches may just be there for a check, or they just may be trying to build up their name, but they don't really understand the significant role that they play in these players' lives. Like some players like me, like this is all that they got, you feel me? So like you can't just be playing with people's lives like that for whatever reason that you got. And I can say at the end of the day, obviously in any situation, it's two parties. So two parties always have, play a role in what happens. So I can take accountability in the fact that, okay, like, did I have attitude? Yes. Could I have said or done things better? Yes. But at the end of the day, my attitude and those things came from the frustration of what I'm seeing and what I'm observing from a day-to-day basis. So don't expect me to change my attitude or how I'm doing if I feel like I'm being mistreated in a different way. So that's kind of just how, like you said, like it really grinds my gears, bro. It really aggravates me.
Yeah, I can't imagine how you feel because like it literally happened to you when I'm here like, just really, pisses me off. So, but I think it's amazing that like what you've done, even like going through that, like even though you had those like dark days, however like long that moment was, you still been able to bring yourself out of that and come to a place where you are now. And like, I don't know where you are mentally now, whether you're really good or still like going through it, but you're doing an amazing job. So I just want to say that as well. Like, it's really good to see how far you've come, even experiencing that.
I appreciate that for real. Like, again, like them was them dark days. And even after I graduated, like it took like 4 years, like 3-4 years after graduate just to like finally start moving on from that hurt from college basketball and everything. Like I couldn't even touch a basketball. Like the love that I have for the game, which is crazy because I used to watch college, WNBA, NBA, like I was in it like nonstop. Literally basketball was life for me. So to go from that to the complete opposite was like crazy. But then something clicked in me like, I don't ever want someone or something to have that much power over me that you take away how much of a significant impact that it had in my life. So I kind of had to reclaim like my love for it because like you're not going to have that much of a significant hold over me to the point where I lose the one thing that, got me to where I'm at today that has brought me just so much and just had so much of an impact in my life.
How are you able to kind of, like you said, you're reclaiming it? When did you decide to begin your dunk journey and kind of get back into basketball and, rekindle the love you had for it?
Yeah. So I'm the type of person that like, I don't ever want to feel like I quit or I don't ever want to like think like, what if? I remember being a player and the older players would come back and be like, yeah, I was supposed to be this or I could have been this, but this. That used to like just fire something in me. I was like, I ain't never going to be like that. Like, what you talk about, you could have or you should have. Like, I don't like those words. I don't even know what those words mean. So, like, when it kind of happened to me, I was like, Dad, like, whatever their story is, like, I can relate because, it happened to me. But then it was last year, I was talking to my friend and I told him, like, I got 4 goals that I want to do. And the first one was to get, like, resting abs. The second one was to be able to do a pistol squat. Like, he could do a pistol squat on anything. This man did a 100-pound dumbbell pistol squat. Like, for what? I don't know, but insane. I'm like, that looks cool. I want to be able to do that too. I want to be able to do a muscle up. And then I said, yo, call me crazy, but like, I want to dunk a basketball. And I always felt it in me and I always believed that I could dunk a basketball, but I've never had formal training or never even had the knowledge of how to even go about this. But I know, like, you're athletic as hell. I'm athletic as hell. I'm the female version of you. So let's go. Like, I know we could start this and, you know, make something happen. And that's just how all of this started.
And what would you say is kind of the biggest obstacle you've discovered for it? Is it kind of, like you said, you had no experience, you didn't know the training, the technique? Was it the mental side of it, or, you know, what's some challenges you had to overcome?
The biggest obstacle in my dunk journey is me. And I say that to say because, like, bro, like, I have the strength to do it. Like, I've been grabbing rims since junior year of high school. That's when I was like, when I first grabbed it off of like 2 steps in high school, I said, yo, I could dunk, but I didn't know how to do it. So everything is there, but it's just like, I keep stopping myself and I keep like trying to think like, well, why am I doing this? Like, why is it happening? And through multiple conversations with my friend, I'm like, well, when I played volleyball, every time I jumped, I was always in the net every single time. And obviously you can't be in the net when you hit because you're going to lose points. So I kind of had to learn how to jump and stop myself from hitting the net. And now when I run and try to jump to dunk the basketball, I'm killing all of my momentum when I get right up to the net, to the goal. And I'm jumping too close. Like, I'm so used to jumping up to the net to hit it. I'm doing the same thing with trying to dunk, but I should be jumping further back. So I say like the biggest obstacle is me because I'm trying to unlearn all these habits that I've built up from volleyball and trying to, you know, actually do the appropriate mechanics that I need to dunk, but I'm in my way for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the worst and like hardest, but also, I don't know, like things is like, first of all, habits. Habits are so like fundamental to like the way humans are, and like breaking a habit, oh, so hard, so hard. Building a habit, especially bad ones, easy. But breaking a bad habit, ugh. And then like, yeah, as well, like you being the one, like it happens with a lots of things where people can like stop themselves. Like they're the ones in their own way. Like even with me, I had like trying to get on my body like recovered because it's kind of similar, but not too much. But like with basketball as well, like I would just like push myself and be like, if I feel pain, I'll be like, it's all right. And it got to a point where I'm like, girl, it's not all right. Like if you wanna be serious, like we got to fix our body, or like you're not gonna go anywhere, because now it's like affecting. Like when it started affecting my basketball, like it started affecting my shot. I'm like, oh no, something's wrong. I can't have this. I can't have this. So finally went to physio and started to get it sorted out. And we did this like testing thing with them earlier. And he was like, your results are very interesting because your 2-foot jump and your single leg jump were exactly the same, which is like very, very hard to do. Like it should not be that like at all. And he's like, so that tells me that it's something going on in your brain, not like the actual physical capabilities, because your brain is for some reason stopping you from like doing it properly. And that's like one of the hardest things to break is like to change your own brain and like the way it thinks. But also it's like in your control. Like at least it's not something that's completely out of your control. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like hard, but also good, kind of. I don't know.
And that's what I was saying earlier, like this on-go mentality that I developed, it is a beauty. It's a beauty and a curse.
Yep. Definitely.
Kind of, I want to know, aside from the basketball aspects, what did your journey like teach you? What kind of lessons? Like, did it teach you that whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve it? And did it teach you resilience and stuff like that?
All the above. And that all again started with just getting into basketball. So I said basketball made me because when I put my whole effort and everything into it, I became like a dope, solid player. Like people literally could not guard me. So now I applied that in life. I said I want to be a physical therapist. I went to physical therapy school, got my doctorate degree. I said, all right, I want to be the best that I could be in that. So boom, I applied to the residency, got into the residency, went through the residency, passed, became a board certified specialist in orthopedics. Said I want to dunk a basketball. I'm getting really close to about to dunk a basketball. I could keep going, like so many to do it. And like my flag football coach, he's like, Dag, every time I see you or talk to you, you gotta go. And then you reach the goal and then you set a new one. Like you inspiring me to like, Dag, do I need to set goals? Like, you feel me? But that's just how I've always been my whole life.
I love that. We got bits and pieces. Yeah. Ooh, is it good? Yeah. Okay. Sweet. I wanted to ask, like, with that, like, inspiring others and stuff, even with your Insta page, like, how does that feel to have, like, people be like, oh, you inspired me to do this, and, like, to start a movement and almost, and, like, yeah, have people come up to you and be like, oh, because you're doing this, like, now I'm doing this and I've achieved it. And it's like, how does that make you feel?
It's dope, honestly. Like, I love it because I'm the type of person that, like, I want to help everybody. That's why I'm a physical therapist, first and foremost. But two is like, I don't want to gatekeep. So, like, if I know what I know, like, bro, I want everybody to know, because I feel as though like life should be not only learning from your personal experiences, but learning from others. So that way you can propel yourself and get to your goal a lot quicker than if you was just to try to figure it out by yourself. So like to hear people say that, like, I'm like, that's dope. Like some people might be salty, like, oh, you got your dunk before me, but you're saying that I inspired. Like, nah, like I'm happy. Like keep it coming. Like tell me all the stories. Like I don't care what it is. Like I want to hear it and I support it because I truly love that for you. Like now that you set that and you reach that, tell me what's the next thing you working on? Like, what's up? Like, keep it coming.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, like, not trying to gatekeep too. I feel like nowadays, I don't know, I feel like social media and like even just the world, I feel like it can be a bit negative sometimes, you know, people trying to gatekeep things, people trying to look down on others and stuff like that. So I love that you're keeping that positivity, that energy, helping people. It's really good.
Yeah, because I just, the people that like gatekeep or make life harder than you, like, you ever hear your teacher or something be like, yeah, this is how it was taught to me, so this is how I'm gonna do it. And I'm like, but do you hear yourself? Because you yourself, you're saying that you didn't even like it when you went through it. So why are you doing this to us? Like, that mentality, I don't know what's right or wrong, but that mentality just never made sense to me in life. Like, if you didn't like it, why are you perpetuating and continuing the cycle of something you don't like? Like, why not break it and set a new mold for a different example and a role, like, of like how you could do it?
Yes, literally. And that's like what fixed versus growth mindset, right? That's kind of what that kind of thing is. But like, yeah.
Oh yeah, hearing how like you inspire people and stuff like that, it's great. I wanted to kind of see the other end of it. Was there any like female dunkers, or I know you mentioned your friend, kind of anyone else that you kind of looked up to start your journey? Even talking about your mentality, I know it kind of resembles Kobe. I see that Kobe poster kind of behind you, you know, like who did you look up to, and kind of who inspires you when you kind of are going through a tough time with the journey, and how do you push through it?
I would say some basketball players that I like that I would look into. Dirk Nowitzki was my favorite player, so I would watch his game. I watched Dwayne Wade. I watched Maya Moore. I watched Diana Taurasi. Both of them are cold. Like, oh my God. Like when I would just watch them play, I would just be like, yo, like, how are they doing this? Like, I'm getting chills just thinking about it, because like they was tough. So them two are my favorite like WNBA players. But then I would watch Manu Ginobili. I'm like, how does he do this Euro step? So I try to learn how to do that. Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, like I would just watch like a bunch of them and then try to, figure out how to incorporate some of their skills into my game. But as far as like dunking, I like haven't looked at like dunkers, but like I'll just be on YouTube. So I've came across like Isaiah Rivera, I've came across Chris Staples, like I've came across like different people in that aspect, and I'm looking like, okay, this is how they jump, this is how it looks, this is how they're breaking it down. I understand all that stuff, but again, I'm just in my way. Mm-hmm. My body and these habits that I've developed, like every time I try to get out of it, my body goes right back to what it knows. So it's just been tough, again, trying to break that habit, like you said, and formulate a new habit. But those are just some of the people that I've kind of came across and looked into specifically, for dunking and everything.
I like all those answers, especially Diana. Oh, she's tough. She's tough, man. What would you say to others, especially like women who like fell out of love with the game? Like, do you have any advice for them or any words of comfort, I guess, for people in maybe similar situations?
Well, I would say, if you really truly love it, like the way that I do, like the way that y'all do, like whatever happened to you, like, I'm sorry that it did, like, it may have, I don't know, it wasn't right, it was wrong, whatever, but like, don't let that like stop you from being you. Like at some point you gotta dust your shoulders off, stand back up and keep going. So like, if it really truly impacted you like the way that it has me, like, don't let that one negative or few negative things overshadow all the good and all just the positive that it brings to you. If it brings you joy, if it brings you that happiness, like reclaim it, take it back. Like, don't let that one thing taint the whole thing. Like, just keep going.
Love that advice.
And just want to know if any kind of regrets or anything you would change. Like, I know you talked about how when you played volleyball, you learned that technique of jumping. Do you like regret any of that, or is it kind of like that molded you into the person you are now? Like, you wouldn't change any of it?
I don't think I would change volleyball. Well, I don't know. I'll kind of talk with that just because like that, like I did learn how to jump. I learned how to jump wrong, but then it also did show me like, dang, I got hops. Yeah. So I don't know, like, even though I learned how to jump wrong, would I have ever discovered that I had hops? I don't know, because after that, that's what made me touch rim my sophomore year and then grab it my junior year, just off of the approach that I learned. But as far as like any regrets over life, like I hate, saying like, oh, I have a regret, but like, it's going to have to be with basketball. Like if I knew what I knew now, like I would have transferred or, I'd have did something. My friend that I told y'all about that, she would literally walk out in the middle of practices and stuff. Like she literally was like one of his favorite players. Like I helped her transfer because she didn't like, the culture in the program either. So she left, but I'll never forget going into my senior year. She told me like, yo, just redshirt, don't even play. But I had that mentality of like, yo, last year was last year. I'm going to give it a chance. Me being stupid. At this point, I should have seen that ain't worked for me the past 3 years. So I should have took her advice and like redshirted just so I could at least have 1 year to just do something somewhere else. Like, I just feel like I had so much talent, and I hate saying was or I had, because like, again, I don't like feeling like I didn't do it, but I was a talented player and I could have did so much, but just going through that whole process just obviously shut it all down. So I just feel like I could have did more, and I wish I could have showed what I could truly do with basketball if I had the right support and coach, around me.
And I think, it's annoying to like look back at those moments and be like, damn, man, like if I had just done this, like maybe I'd be here, and like all those like little moments. But yeah, you've done amazing with what you've been given even, and like picking yourself back up. I wanted to ask specifically about injuries. Have you ever had to experience any injuries, and like how did that obstacle kind of affect you, and how did you get through that?
I'll talk about two, because I really only had two. It is related. Sophomore year in high school, I dislocated my right patella. So I had to go through physical therapy through that. And I was pretty much out the whole like sophomore year season until coming back for playoffs. Had it not been for that, I would have scored my 1,000 points. I'm still salty about it to this day. I was only like 20, 30 points away from it. But that injury, you know, that's actually what piqued my love into physical therapy, because I'm sitting here like, well, why did this happen? I'm in physical therapy. Why are y'all having me doing what I'm doing? Like, just kind of learn how to rehab and come back from that. So rehab my knees. And at that point in high school, my knees always bothered me, but it never stopped me from playing. But if we fast forward, so I pretty much had chronic knee pain, high school and college, but it didn't really affect my movements or what I was doing until about 2 years ago. Like, for some reason, at this point, I'm playing flag football because I'm like, I want to play basketball. And as an adult, it's already hard to find organized basketball leagues, especially as a woman too. So like, I'm not playing with basketball. And then these coaches ask me like, you want to play flag football? And I'm like, again, sure, I'm athletic. Let me give it a try. So I'm trying to play flag football, but my knees are bothering me. And then they get to the point where like just extending my knee, like it's cracking. It hurts like every single time. I can't even walk. Long story short, I got pain going up and down the stairs, pain like standing up to the point I'm holding onto the railing. I'm like using my hands to like stand up. And I'm like, bro, I'm 26. Like, ain't no way this is about to be my life. Go to the doctors and they like, yeah, you can either have surgery or do like these platelet injections. And the surgery, I would have had to be questioned. So I'm a physical therapist. I got to be on my feet. Pretty much they take your blood, they transfer done, and that kind of helped the recovery process, not in as much pain, and I'm moving better, but still like down. So it says internet connection is unstable.
Yeah. It cut in a bit. It was cutting a bit there. I think it's come back now.
Okay. But yeah, I'm at the point where I'm active, but I'm not where I want to be. So then my physical therapy brain kicks in and I'm like, okay, I got to start doing this, and this. So I worked on like mobility. I worked on strengthening, and I just tackled everything that I know from my physical therapy background, and I did it to myself. So I'm at the point now where like knee pain wise, like I have the least amount of knee pain I've ever had throughout my whole entire life. And now I'm able to do all the things that y'all see me doing, such as trying to dunk a basketball, just because like, kind of like you said, like, yo, you stupid, like sit down. Like, why you keep trying to play injured? Like, sit down and like actually focus on what you need to do and then come back. So I took like a year off of flag football and I just did what I needed to do. And I came back and then I've been like the best that I've been since.
Wow. Yeah. I think I need to take a page out of that book. I remember I just came back from Japan not too long ago, and like for basketball, and the last game I rolled my ankle, and there was like as soon as I did it, I'm like, oh, that's not good, because I've I've not really rolled my ankle properly before. Like every time I've done it, I'm like, can just walk it off and it's fine. Like I have pretty strong ankles, but that one I felt it, I was like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. It's not that bad. Anyways, then I straight away looked at the bench. I'm like, yo, sub me off. And they're like, oh, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, just sub me off. And then the team got like a fast break, and I'm sprinting down the other side, and the bench is like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you running on it? Don't run on it. I'm like, no, what do you mean? I got to stop them from getting a layup. Like, oh, no. And I sprint. I'm like, oh, I'm good actually. And then I stop sprinting, and I'm like, oh, never mind. It hurts again. And then anyways, they take me off, and lucky, because I guess this could have been like 10 times worse if they didn't stop me. Like, I sit down and I'm like, guys, I think I'm all right. I think I can go back on. Like, let me keep playing. Because, like, I was, like, playing so good that game. And, like, the other games, I hadn't really been playing that much, or, like, I hadn't really been playing good. And this game, I was, like, doing so good. I'm like, bro, put me back on. Put me back on. And this was the last game of the tour. And we're going back. And my friend's like, mate, we're not going to put you back on and just to have you make it 10 times worse. And then we go back to Australia and then you're, like, not going to be able to play. Like, come on, be smart. And I'm like, but it feels good. So and then, I mean, like I said, my ankles are pretty strong. So it only hurt for like 2 more days after that. So it wasn't that bad. But I mean, if I played, maybe it would have been a lot worse. So who knows? But yeah, that rest, like even just now, like my knee is like hurting bad because I had it like under my leg and then I moved down. I'm like, ooh, that's not good. So since you're like, you know, a physical therapist and you went through like the knee pain and stuff, what was my question? I was gonna ask like how do you or when do you think is like a sign to like, okay, this is like really bad. Like I need to like get this seriously checked out. Cause like I've been a few times in my past cause I was like, it would hurt a lot. And then they're like, oh, it's not that bad. You just need to do this. Like the pain hasn't gone away. So it's like, I don't know. Like, what do you think? What's your advice on that?
Well, typically, I try to put it like easy, kind of easy. It's complicated, but I'm trying to simplify a complicated topic. Say if you have pain, and this is all subjective to you, but if your pain is like a 3 out of 4, like 3 to 4 out of 10 pain, you feel it, but it's not really limiting you or stopping you from doing anything. I would say like at that point, like you could keep going, but you got to monitor your response. If you keep going and if it's worse, then stop doing whatever you're doing that's making it worse. If you keep going and if it's staying the same or if it's less, then that tells you that like, okay, you can, you know, manage it. And that's pretty much the rule that I use, like working with anyone. But at the same time, it depends on like what your goal is. If you're just doing your day-to-day activities and like, okay, like you feel it. And if you're okay with it, then you could keep going. But if you want it to feel better, like ultimately what I'm trying to say is you have to figure out like, what is that underlying cause that is contributing to your pain? My whole job and role is to find like, what is that thing or things that's contributing to your dysfunction? And now, since I have the evidence to show that it is contributing to your dysfunction, I can come up with specific treatments to address your issues. And then based off of that, I monitor how you respond to it and to get you better. So if you're an athlete, and I know this is hard for all athletes because we all hate being hurt, but you gotta just sit down, just listen to your body, just sit down, because if you keep going, 9 times out of 10 it's going to get worse. Now you're going to be mad that you're out for months where you could have just been out for like a few weeks versus months. You feel me? Like, which one would you rather have? Stop trying to, which is easier said than done. We all want to play. We all in the moment. We all locked in. But it's the sacrifice you're trying to make. Do you want to play and potentially win? What's the outcome of the game here? Or, you know, do you stop, rest, and then keep yourself healthy for the rest of the season? It's up to you on what you want to do. But I'm a big advocate of just sit down, address what you need to address, come back better than you did before.
Yes, I need to hear it. Thank you.
And kind of tying into like the whole injury talk, and because you said yourself you missed basically a whole year, how can, like, if you would give advice to someone, how can someone stay kind of engaged in the sport and stuff like that if they're facing like a major injury where they have to miss a long period of time?
I always tell my patients, like, and this can be for anybody too, but if you come in for a shoulder injury and you telling me that you can't work out, I'm like, your legs work though, right? You feel me? Like, we get so caught up in the fact that, oh, I can't do it the way that I want to do it. But like, your legs still work. So work out your legs, work on your craft or your skills from what you can do with your legs to help you get better at, the sport that you're doing, or vice versa. If you got a knee, hip, or ankle injury, well, you could still do stuff with your hands, depending on what your sport is, or if your sport truly like soccer, for example. All right, bet if it's your right side, well, you can still work on your left side. You can still do some drills against the wall, stuff like that. Like, it's all about your mindset and how you look at it. Like, ideally, you cannot do it the way that you want to do or perform to the caliber that you want to. But if you switch how you're looking at it and still work on the things that you can work on until you build that part back up, you can still do what you want to do.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. And I think bringing it back to basketball, I wanted to ask, like, how do you view basketball, like, now compared to back when you were younger, or even back when you hated it? Like, how has basketball changed through your life, like your view of it?
I mean, I think it's never going to be the same just because of what I went through, but I'm in a space now where, like, the love of it is like coming back heavy just from the dunk journey. And I feel like this is like God's way of kind of reinventing my story to, like, set it in a different way that I never even imagined like it could be going. So I don't hate it. I still love it. To this day, like, if I get a ball right now, like, that happiness that I just feel is like instant in my hands. So yeah. I'm in a good space with basketball right now. After all that experience, yeah.
Do you have any more questions?
Not necessarily. Everything I was going to ask kind of got answered, like, in turn. Just maybe one last one. I know you kind of talked about advice to people with basketball, kind of, but specifically, like, if someone's trying to also get their first dunk, what's some advice you would give to them? Maybe some exercises they should follow and stuff like that.
Well, I think with any goal that you have, you got to do your research. So look at who's doing it. Look at the pioneers who's, giving y'all all free game on YouTube University. That's where you should go. Step number one. Figure out what are the requirements. So you need strength. You need plyometrics, you need flexibility. Then evaluate yourself. Do you have those criteria to even do what you're setting out to do? If you do, great. If you don't, you know where to start. Formulate that plan. Make sure you incorporate all those things that you need to get to where you need to go. And then just be consistent. Everything in life is about just being, consistent and persistent. You can't expect different results or a different outcome if you only doing it once every other 2 weeks. I'm sorry to tell you that you're not going to get constantly, even through the ups and the downs. Like, at the end of the day, you're going to get to that end destination. So don't stop. Trust and believe in yourself and keep going. You're going to have haters. You're going to have people that doubt you, but guess what? That tells you you're doing something right. Just keep going.
Yeah, it's definitely some good advice there.
Yeah, and I think for our final question, we've been asking everyone this one, so it's kind of like a new segment almost. Might be stealing your question a bit, but obviously you've gone through like a hate phase of basketball, so your answer might be completely different or whatever. But anyways, I'm gonna ask it. Who would you say is your GOAT for like basketball?
Who's my goal?
GOAT.
Oh, my GOAT. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, you do see the Kobe poster behind
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
It's going to have to be Kobe. Yeah. And it's funny because I didn't even like Kobe. I hated Kobe.
Oh, wow.
But then I learned about his story. Like, it's his story and that mentality that he had. Like, I had to respect it. Then once I like heard about him and like seen the interviews and all that, and then like you see it manifest in his game, it turned into nothing but pure respect. And like for me to this day, I don't really see a player out there that got the mentality to the level that Kobe has. So he gonna have to be the one for me.
Love that. Love the answer. Got a new so far. We haven't had any. I think everyone has said Michael Jordan, right? Has anyone not said Michael Jordan yet?
I think Lobex, he might have said Dr. J, but they mention it, but then they say, but MJ's still the good.
Yeah.
They might have their favorite player, like, oh yeah, Dr. J or someone, but then like, but MJ has to be MJ. So fair enough.
So I like the Kobe answer because the whole time, like, I've been thinking like people are either gonna say MJ or LeBron, but like I know Kobe's in there too. But yeah, I love that answer because he was just different. He was different. Rest in peace.
Yeah. I also feel like it's based off of where you grew up, because I grew up in the 90s. So at this point, when I got into watching basketball, it wasn't until like 2000s. So I didn't really get to see MJ. So like that was an era like before my time. So obviously I know of MJ and I've seen the clips, but it's just different because I didn't grow up watching him the way that I seen like Kobe and LeBron. And I'm picking Kobe over LeBron because like, again, like Kobe's ethic was different. LeBron, like, and I gotta, maybe look into him more, but it's just like, he got it and he's nice too, but he don't got that mentality, that lock in like Kobe did. Like when Kobe came and wanted to shut something down, like Kobe shut it down, like just different, like you said, like just dropping 81 points. Like, I mean, obviously like LeBron can do stuff like that too, but like just the way that he moved was just different.
Yeah.
It's like that killer edge. Like obviously all the greats have it, but Kobe like takes it that next step above.
That mentality.
Yeah, of course. You have to respect it. But yeah, do you have any more questions?
I'm all out.
Well, we'll probably wrap it up there. Before we finish it, is there anything you want to shout out? Your Instagram, any other social medias, anything like that?
My Instagram is Kenny Kinetics 6. TikTok and YouTube is still Kenny Kinetics. So those are my pages. And most importantly, I guess just shout out to my friends. They say blood is thicker than water, but for me, that wasn't the case. But my friends, from high school to college to this day, they the ones that kind of really helped me down throughout every little obstacle and aspect of my life. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know who y'all is.
I love that. Make sure you guys go and follow her dunk story journey. Are you almost achieved it?
I'm right there.
Yeah, I'm there.
Fiddling around the rim with the ball. At this point, like if this is the rim, like this much of my hand is over the rim. I just gotta get it.
Good. Hopefully when this comes out, she's got it and you guys can see the build up. All right. As always, I'm Ebony.
It's your boy Tyler. Yeah. Just want to thank you for coming on, giving us your time and sharing your story.
Yes, thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me. Dope podcast. Make sure y'all follow them too, because listen, I love what y'all doing. Highlighting the game in many different aspects. Like, keep up the good work.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.